Tell EPA you need atrazine. Submit your comment at fightepa.com. A message from the Missouri Corn Growers Association.
Welcome back to Farm of the Four States here on KRMO AM 990, your ag voice of the Ozarks. Sammy Clapper with you here on this Wednesday afternoon. Still at 82 degrees. That's what's being reported at the Monette Municipal Airport National Weather Service reporting station. That may be off at just a degree or two. It may have not updated yet during the noon hour because we've got 89 degrees here at the studios in Aurora. They're calling for a high of 85 to 90 this afternoon, but there is a chance of showers that'll be moving in later this afternoon into the evening. Some of those showers are already starting to develop down in Arkansas. And then once the rain starts to move into the picture, it's going to hang around for several days. And as we move towards the weekend, the percentage increases day after day from 30 to 50 to 60 to 80 right on through into the weekend. So several rounds of rain expected. And some of the local forecasters, by the time it's all done next week, are predicting anywhere from 3 to 6 inches of rain from some locally heavy areas, so might be worried about some flooding by the time this is all done. We'll have to wait and check it all out. Well, again, thanks for joining us here today on Farm in the Four States. Fair season is already well underway here in southwest Missouri. It's starting to get underway in Kansas and Oklahoma, and then Arkansas. Their fair season's a little later than the other three states here in the four states. But first county fair out of the box every year is the Lawrence County Fair, and it was held once again this year over in Freistatt, Missouri. They've really done a lot of great work over there at the fairgrounds there on the north side of town. Everyone knows where the Ernstfest grounds are. Well, they've kind of went in conjunction with some of the buildings there at the Ernstfest grounds and added on to that with fairground facilities. They put up buildings and things of that nature, and it's really progressing nicely over there. The board and all the folks involved with the Lawrence County Fair really staying well participated and involved in that. And the fair was held June the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th there in Freistatt. And it's time, since fair season is well underway, to start up our Brownfield Ag Youth Awards program again for 2016. We're very proud to be involved with the program again this year, recognizing our youth in agriculture. And a lot of that starts at the county fair level. That's where a lot of the young folks get started, whether in 4-H or FFA. They start showing animals. They start getting involved with exhibits and projects, and they put those on display at the county fairs as well. And then they get recognized for their accomplishments. Many of them receive awards, and then they move on year after year and go on to other county fairs or even on to the state level. And when Brownfield approached us with this a few years back, we were very glad to get on board. We not only get the folks involved at the local level, but we also get the winners. We select 2 youth from each county fair, and right now we're involved with Lawrence County, Berry County, Newton County, and Jasper County. We may expand that at some point, but right now that's the 4 counties we deal with. And we not only get them on the air or try to get them on the air and recognize their accomplishments and congratulate them. Brownfield also provides belt buckles for us, and we award those with the KRMO and Brownfield logos to those winners as well. And today, since Lawrence County Fair was first, we have our first winner of 2016, and we're very glad to have Bray Miller here with us today, winner from the Lawrence County Fair. And Bray, again, thank you so much for being with us here today. Congratulations on being selected one of our winners, and we appreciate you taking time to come by and visit with us today. Well, I was going to have you just go ahead and tell us a little bit about where you're from and tell us who your parents are as well, because I know Mom and Dad's got a lot of long hours and work besides you making sure everything's done. So just tell us where you're from and introduce your parents for us.
I'm from Miller, Missouri, and my parents are Ryan and Kam Miller.
All right. Now, how old are you? We need to ask that, right?
I'm 13.
13, so not in high school yet, getting close. But so that means, are you involved in 4-H then?
Yes.
What 4-H club are you with?
The Miller Champs 4-H group.
How long have you been involved with 4-H?
Probably not even a year yet.
So even though you're 13, you're just getting started with this stuff.
Yes.
What got your interest piqued about getting involved with this sort of thing, either with 4-H or with agriculture? Has your family been involved in farming for a while, or is that something new too?
No, we're new to that, but I really just liked the animals and things, and we wanted to be interested in cows and things, and I joined 4-H for animals.
How long has your 4-H club been around? We might need to ask your mom about that, but do you know how long it's been in existence? I know sometimes 4-H clubs kind of come and go. New ones come in, old ones drop away, but how long has your club been around?
I don't know how long it's been around before Mom came, but it was around, and then somebody left it, and it was kind of abandoned for a couple months, but then Mom came and now it's like started up again.
I ran into that same thing when I was your age and even a little younger than you. We had a 4-H club that got started, and I got involved in it, and it only lasted about 3 or 4 years, and then unfortunately some of the parents and the volunteers that ran it had other things come up, and they had to quit, and our club kind of disappeared there for a while. Mine was in Lawrence County as well, but it disappeared. But it's nice to see some of these 4-H clubs and the resurgence of the 4-H clubs come back to our area. I know Bray County's got one going again down in the Exeter, Missouri area, and they had been without 4-H for quite some time. So to get these 4-H clubs up and running, and that's where you got started and your interest got going. So to get our youth in agriculture off to a great start, what have you really enjoyed about being in 4-H?
I would say the projects and the things that we do in 4-H.
Okay, now you did several things at the county fair, and you're involved in several things in 4-H. Did you start with just thinking about one, I just want to get involved in animals, and it kind of grew out from there, or what was the first thing that you got interested in?
Well, I got a pig from the Miller FFA, a gilt, and I have to show her at the Lawrence County Fair, the Springfield Ozark Empire Fair, and the State Fair.
So that's where you got started with livestock. What made you select a hog as your project? Was that something you just were interested in, or
it was something that was just given to me as an option? The 8th graders were supposed to get it originally, but I got it, and I'm only a 7th grader.
Well, as I talked about, I don't think last year, I'd have to go back and look, my memory's failing me already. It may have been 2 years ago, we had a winner from one of the fairs, and I think it was the Newton County Fair. They showed hogs as well, and I congratulated them and tipped my cap to them for showing hogs at the fair level, and I do the same thing to you, because we talked before we got on the air. Anyone that's ever tried to show any livestock at a county fair knows how difficult it is, and from my experience of raising hogs over the years, I never had to show hogs, but they always seem to be a difficult animal to try to get to do what you wanted it to do. But you took on that project, and you seem to enjoy it and have a lot of fun with it. What's the hardest thing, do you think, about showing a hog at a fair? Is there something that's more difficult than another?
More eye contact with the judge.
Is it? What about, does it take a lot of practice? I know all livestock showing, whether it's horses, sheep, goats, cows, whatever, you have to do a lot of practice, make sure the animal stays comfortable, and a lot of handling procedures. Do you have to do a lot of that with your hog as well?
We have to try to practice with trying to get them to walk with a stick, because sometimes they don't always learn, but they're pretty fast learners.
And that's one thing that people don't really seem to realize as well, is how intelligent hogs are. I mean, they're one of the top 10 smartest animals in the world. They can learn quickly. They do learn quickly. So that's one thing that they've got going that helps out with you in the show arena, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Of course, with hogs, I know it was brought up earlier, they're fun to try to keep clean, I'm sure, as well, aren't they?
Well, they're a piece of work to try to
Especially this time of year when it starts getting hot. They're wanting to find a good mud hole to lay in and cool off, aren't they?
Yeah, like when you go to wash them, and if you've tried to ever wash a hog in the grass, they like to root in the mud, and it's trouble.
It is. I can imagine that for sure. One thing that I found out really interesting before we got on the air today, visiting with you, you talked about just getting involved with 4-H. This is also your first year at going and showing at the fair level. So you said that was part of your getting the hog to go show it at the fair level. How have you found that right out of the box? Here you are already your first year, and you're going to fairs and showing your livestock. Has that been a fun experience for you?
Yeah, it's really fun. The only time I've really ever been to a fair was whenever I was a little younger and went to Ozark Empire Fair, but I never showed, I just rode the rides.
Yeah, never got over into the barns that much over there?
Well, I've always really been interested in livestock, but I never really just had the interest to watch the shows and everything.
It is a lot of work, and the long hours you guys have to put in before you ever get to the fairgrounds, just getting your animals prepared and ready. People don't realize how many long hours you guys have to do unless they've been involved in something like that. So, okay, you had your hog over there at the Lawrence County Fair. What else did you do?
I did a few speeches. I did an extemporaneous speech on why youth leadership matters, and I did another speech on how to show a gilt, because that is what I show as my hog, is a gilt.
And I guess we should, how did you do in all your competitions?
I got a blue ribbon. That's really all I know. I didn't know how to read the scorecards, but...
So you did pretty well then, and that was on your hog?
The hogs weren't really worth the most points as the extemporaneous speech and how to show the guilt
Right.
speeches.
Had you ever done anything like that before, getting up in front of people and having to present speeches like that?
I did once on how to pull a cow.
And that, people, we talk about how hard it is to deal with livestock. For some people, it's even harder to get up in front of a crowd like that and do something like that. So, again, you should be commended and congratulated for doing that as well. Okay, besides your speeches and showing your livestock, did you do anything else?
I showed a ham. I got champion reserve.
Hey, well, congratulations on that as well. And that's something you don't see at all the county fairs, but you see at some, and the Lawrence County Fair does get involved in that with the ham showing. So that's a bit of a unique experience there as well. So, and that's what we look for with this Brownfield Ag Youth Awards program, kids that are getting very involved in their county fairs, and you have done that. You've shown livestock, you've put up exhibits with your ham, and you've also got participated in some of the other things with the public speaking contests. So was that something you were planning on doing, or was that something you just kind of got into as the fair season got closer, or had you been thinking about getting involved in all those things before the fair ever took place?
Well, I wasn't really thinking that I was going to do the speeches, like the extemporaneous speech and doing the guilt speech, but once I knew there was a belt buckle involved, I kind of wanted to get that buckle.
You had a goal that was put into place, and that's something. There's a good point right there that Bray presents right there. Everyone has to have some goals put out there in front of them and try to achieve those goals, and he saw something that he was going to go after. So, again, he should be commended on that, too, as well, setting those goals and then following through on those goals. And he is one of our winners from the Lawrence County Fair. Again, we're visiting with Bray Miller, and he was one of our winners from the Lawrence County Fair back June the 2nd through the 4th. The Berry County Fair just wrapped up last weekend. We'll be getting with those folks and getting winners from that fair. And then, of course, the Newton and Jasper County Fairs don't take place until we get into the first week of July. All right, now the Lawrence County Fair's behind you. What else are you going to be doing this summer? You got any other fairs you're going to be attending? What else is on your schedule for the rest of the summer?
I'm going to show my pig at the Everton, the fair that's at Everton.
Dade County?
Yeah, the Dade County Fair, and then I'm going to go to the Ozark Empire Fair in State.
So you're going to have a busy rest of the summer. You're going to be still traveling quite a bit.
And I'm going to try to show my ham at the Golden Gala and try to get it sold for money.
Now, right now, I forgot to ask, you just have the one hog right now you're showing?
Yes.
Do you think about maybe expanding to more, or are you just going to stick with one for now?
I'm going to breed her and try to get 2 for next year.
So that's something you're thinking about maybe trying to stick with, showing hogs. Do you think about any other livestock you want to show, or are you just going to stick with hogs for now?
Well, I kind of want to show cows, but it can get a little pricey.
Yes, I can understand that too. And that's something that you see if you have someone or are on a farm that already has cattle. It's a little easier to get into, but if you don't have that and have to go out and start some of the smaller livestock, is definitely a good way to go. And it helps with the budget as well, that's for sure, because it doesn't matter what type of livestock you have. There's a lot of expense involved besides all the long hours and work, so keeping those livestock in good condition. All right, now, another thing you have, as we talked about being unique, you just got into all of this year and got off and running with county fairs. Your very first year getting involved with 4-H, and you're already on the fair scene. Talk to somebody that's out there that's maybe a little nervous your age or a little younger that's been thinking about trying to do this, either get involved with a 4-H club or showing things, and they're a little nervous about it. They don't know whether they want to do it or not. Do you have any advice you want to give them about maybe to calm their nerves a little bit getting into this? You just kind of jumped in with both feet, but is that something you would tell other people to try, or what do you think about that?
Well, yeah, because it doesn't really matter if you're that nervous or not, because once you get out in the ring, you just don't really matter. It doesn't really matter to you because you're just having so much fun, because it's a lot of fun. You
really start concentrating on what you're doing, and kind of the rest of it kind of disappears, doesn't it?
I mean, I've been late to, like, a few of my things, and I just kind of rush out there, but once I'm out there, I'm just fine. I'm just calm and having fun.
Well, that is some good advice right there, and that might help calm some people's nerves too, because they always the nervousness about being up in front of a big crowd like that, in front of all the people, that something's going to go wrong and I'm going to mess up. But yeah, when you get in there and start working with your animal, your kind of focus all goes to that, and you kind of forget about everybody out there staring at you, don't you? Because you're worried about trying to do the best job with your livestock and things of that nature.
Yeah, it really does.
Well, again, congratulations on being our winner from the Lawrence County Fair. We appreciate your time today and your mom and everybody for bringing you in today. We wish you a lot of good luck at the rest of your fair schedule throughout the rest of the summer. Hopefully the weather will cooperate and it won't get too hot once you get to that Ozark Empire Fair. It seems like it always seems to warm up then, but I know they've got a lot of great facilities up there as well. So we wish you a lot of good luck. The rest of the fair schedule, congratulations, and again, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
Bray Miller, our winner from the Lawrence County Fair, our Brownfield Ag Youth Award program. He is one of our winners. Carissa Samagna was our other winner, and we're still trying to effort getting her in here, but we've been unable to make connections with her and her family, but hopefully we can get her in here as well from the Lawrence County Fair that was held in early June over in Freystadt. Again, the Berry County Fair was last week. We'll try to get them on here in the next week or so, and then Newton and Jasper County Fairs as well. But again, congratulations to Bray Miller from Lawrence County, the winner, one of our winners from the Lawrence County Fair, as the fair season well underway here in southwest Missouri, and the rest of the 4 states starting to catch up as well. We've got the dairy update from Brownfield headed your way next, and we'll be back with more Farm in the 4 states right after this.
On Tuesday, milk futures were higher. I'm John Perkins with the Brownfield Dairy Update. Push your corn yield potential with Coron. Coron is part of the new H3 fertility system